Hey, how y'all doing out there? Back at you again with another video. Today I'd like to just do a quick comparison between the LG G8 and the Oneplus 7T Pro. Now, of course, both these devices came out in 2019 of last year, and they're both considered flagship devices. Okay? All right. Now, if you're out there looking for a smartphone, these are two good choices to consider. Either the LG G8, which is here on my left, and the OnePlus 7T Pro, which is on my right. Both are great devices. Both are excellent in what they do, but it's going to come down. It's going to come down to personal preference. Now, all these things I'm about to mention is subjective, and it does come down to personal preference. What I like, you might not like. What you like, I might not like. Okay, now I may not mention every single little thing, but I'm just going to go over the stuff that I think would be most important to most people. Okay, we're going to do that and we're going to make this quick as possible. All right, first thing, the LG G8. Now, the price I got for this device was $350, but I'm told I know for a fact you can find it for even less than that right now at eBay. Now, for some reason, LG phones lose their value extremely fast. They just don't hold value at all. Now, that doesn't mean it's a bad device. It's just, I don't know why. Maybe they don't advertise as much. I don't know what it is, but they probably drop in value faster than any other Android phone. Now, I could be wrong about that, but that's what I believe, honestly, because this phone hasn't even been out a good 10 months, and you could already get it for like $200 something, which is crazy. All right. Now, on the other hand, the OnePlus 7T Pro, that phone is still out there just under $700. Now, I looked on eBay, which is usually have the cheapest prices, for the two, between them and Amazon. And that phone is still well over $600. Even used, even open box, whatever way you want it, is still over $600. So if it comes down to price for you and you're on a budget and you're looking to not spend a whole lot of money, you want to go with the LG G8 because you're going to get a cheaper device and you're going to get a fully loaded device. This device is fully loaded. But you might want something different with the OnePlus 7T Pro. So I'm going to continue to let you know what the differences are. Okay? All right, let's get it. Next thing, the LG G8 build quality, Gorilla Glass 5. Now, this phone does have really good build quality, but it's very, very slippery. Without a case, it's very hard to handle this device. I'm just being honest. So if you're going to buy this device, make sure you put a case on it. But it does come with Gorilla Glass 5. The OnePlus 7T Pro, also Gorilla Glass 5. Now, this phone has more of a matte texture on the back. So this phone, you could actually use it without a case, but it's still a little slippery, but it doesn't come nowhere near as slippery as the LG G8. This is like holding a bar of soap, honestly. Seriously. But this has more somewhat like a matte finish on the back. So both have Gorilla Glass 5. So as far as build quality, that's even. Okay. Next thing. The LG G8 has a 6.1 inch OLED Quad HD display, which gets very bright and vivid. The OnePlus 7T Pro has a 6.67 inch AMOLED Quad HD 90 Hz display, and it has no notch. Now, for some of you, that's really important about the notch. Like for me, I cannot stand any phone that has a notch. I just can't do it. Now, with the Note 10 Plus, with the small little camera cutout at the top, that's not a problem because it's so teeny and small and it's dead center. So that's not an issue for me. But a notch, something that just cuts down into your display, I can't stand it. Like that, I can't do it. I really literally hate that. I hate it. So that's a no-go for me when it comes to a phone that has a notch. I just can't do it. On the other hand, you pick up this bad boy. Sorry, let me turn this down. All right. See that? No notch, all display. I mean, no notch, no bezels, really. This is all display device here. So I'm loving this. Okay. So which display? Now I'm going to tell you which display is actually better overall. I would have to say the LG G8 because the colors are more vivid and it does get a lot brighter than the OnePlus 7T Pro. But which one would I pick as far as display? I'm definitely going with the OnePlus 7T Pro because like I said, it has no bezels and it's all display. I can't do notches. All right. Next thing. The LG G8 has an always on display. As you can see, always on display. I love it. You can see the time, the date, the day. You get your notifications there at the bottom. You get the battery percentage. Now, of course, you can use a picture and you can control your media with this as well. So this is something that's a must for me. I love phones with always on displays. OnePlus 7T Pro, unfortunately, no always on display. That's something I really hope they implement soon at some point at their device. I don't know what the big deal is. You know, like if somebody don't want to use it, then that's fine, but at least give us the option of having one. So I hope OnePlus is listening and they'll finally put always on display on their devices, but it doesn't have it. Next thing, LG G8, 6 gigs of RAM. OnePlus 7T Pro, 8 gigs of RAM. Now for me, of course, I'm going to go with the OnePlus 7T Pro because you could hold more apps open in the background with 2 more extra RAM. 2 more gigs of extra RAM. Now I know that some people, they could care less about that. 6 gigs is more than enough for them. But for me, I'm always going to take the phone with the most RAM because with my Note 10 Plus, it has 12 gigs of RAM. And I could hold tons and tons of apps open in the background, go right back to it even days later, and it picks up right where I left off. I'm loving that, okay? To me, that's not overkill. I'll take the more RAM over the less RAM. So for me, it'd be the OnePlus 7T Pro. Next thing, LG G8, 128 gigs of internal memory. The OnePlus 7T Pro, 256 gigs of internal memory. So of course, you're going to get double the storage with the OnePlus 7T Pro. Next thing, the LG G8, expandable memory up to 2 terabytes. The OnePlus 7T Pro, no expandable memory at all. So, of course, the big one is going to go to the LG G8 because you could expand the storage. Now, even though this has less internal memory, but it has triple the expandable memory, which this doesn't have any expandable memory at all. Now, that's something OnePlus needs to implement in their devices. People need more storage. People are shooting 4K video, and now they've come out with a phone that can shoot 8K. And for that, you need more storage. They need to put expandable memory on their devices. If you could have a dual SIM card slot, I don't want dual SIM card slot. Give me one that has expandable memory on it. That's what I want, and I'm sure that's what people want. All right? So the win for that clearly is the LG G8. All right, next thing. LG G8 headphone jack at the bottom, accompanied by a 32-bit hi-fi quad DAC. Excellent audio sound. I'm just trying to tell you. LG has the best audio sound in the business. Hands down, in my opinion. Hands down. With the OnePlus 7T Pro, no headphone jack. Now, the audio quality is not horrible, but it ain't even in the neighborhood as far as audio quality overall. Not even in the neighborhood. This is the phone. If you care about having a headphone jack and you care about your sound being at the highest level possible, then you want the LG G8. Okay? The audio quality in the OnePlus 7T Pro is not bad, but there's no headphone jack and you don't even get a dongle or any headphones. Now, you don't get any headphones with the LG G8 either, but at least you do have a headphone jack. So that's a big win for the LG G8 for those that still consider a headphone jack relevant, because I do. And I hate the fact that OnePlus removed the headphone jack for no good reason. There's really no reason to remove it, and I hate the fact that it don't have one. And they didn't even give you any headphones or any dongle at all. So I hate that. All right, next thing. LG G8 fingerprint sensor is on the rear. Okay. With the OnePlus 7T Pro, you got the fingerprint sensor underneath the display. Now, that's going to come down to personal preference as well. Some people prefer a physical fingerprint sensor, and they prefer it be on the rear. Some people like the fact that we're pushing technology forward, and we have the in-display fingerprint sensor. Some people would rather have that, and it's on the front of the phone. So you have people that rather have the fingerprint sensor on the rear, and you have those that would prefer to have it on the front, and not even on the front, but built into the display. Now, I'm going to tell you, between the two, the fingerprint sensor on the OnePlus 7T Pro is way better and is much, much faster. The LG G8, the fingerprint sensor is accurate, but it takes at least a second and a half to come on. Now, I know y'all saying out there, a second and a half, that's not a big deal. I understand, but when you deal with a fingerprint sensor that's so fast that as soon as you touch it, it just comes on, you get spoiled by that. So I'm not trying to say this is super slow by any means, but this is just a faster and more accurate fingerprint sensor. It just is, okay, based on my experience. All right, so neither one of them are bad. I mean, the LG G8 is not bad, but it's just not as fast as the OnePlus, and it's on the front of the device, which some people, consider that a lot more convenient. Okay, so like I said, at the end of the day, that comes down to personal preference as well. Next thing, LG G8 has a dedicated Google button, which is right here on the side, right there on the left side of the device, which some people might like that. And you have the OnePlus 7T Pro, no dedicated Google button at all. Okay. Now, for some people, that's not the biggest deal. They'll just take the Google widget, put it on the front, and then when they say, "Hey Google," it'll automatically kick on. So for some people, they don't care about that. Now with the LG, you have a button on the side, you can push it and you can activate it. So that might not be the biggest deal to anybody. It's definitely not a big deal to me. I could care less. Half the time when I was using this, I didn't even remember that button was even there. So, but I'm just saying that's an advantage for the LG G8 that it does have the dedicated button there. All right. Next thing, LG G8, you have the Snapdragon 855. OnePlus 7T Pro, you have the Snapdragon 855 Plus. Now, some people may say that's not really that big of a deal. They're pretty much the same. Well, I'm gonna have to tell you that's not true. 855 Plus is definitely faster than the regular 855. Not that the 855 is slow, but the 855 Plus is even faster. Okay, it is. So the advantage goes to the OnePlus 7T Pro. Both have the same GPU, 640 GPU. So that's pretty much the same. Also, with the OnePlus 7T Pro, you're going to get a faster and smoother software experience. No doubt about it. This is the fastest Android phone I've ever used, ever. Even faster than the Google Pixel 4 XL. I'm just trying to tell you. That's my experience, and I've tested that phone as well. This phone is so fast and buttery smooth. I absolutely love it. This one is not slow by any means. But as far as speed, it ain't touching the OnePlus 7T Pro for speed nor smoothness. But you'll enjoy the software experience on this device as well. All right, LG G8, no alert slider. The OnePlus 7T Pro, you do have an alert slider on the side here, right here at the top, where you could put it on silent, vibrate, or sound. And some people like that when you want to silence your device, or you just got to push up on an alert slider and be done with it. Now, for me, that's not a big deal because I keep my phone on vibrate 24 hours a day, 365 days a week. So, 365 days a year. I'm sorry. So that doesn't matter to me, but for some people, that does matter. So you have the LG G8 don't have one. You have the OnePlus 7T Pro that does have one. All right? To each his own. Excuse me. Next, LG G8 battery life. Now, this phone comes with a 3,500 milliamp battery, and you're getting, now this is my experience, you're going to get 2 days of battery use, medium to heavy usage. That's been my experience with the LG G8. With the OnePlus 7T Pro, you're going to get a 4,080 milliamp battery, and you're also going to get 2 days of battery life, medium to heavy usage. That's my experience. So it's even across the board on that. You're getting 2 days with both. But the thing I actually like that's impressive about LG is that you have the always on display. You're still getting 2 days. And you also have a battery that's a lot less than this one. This has 580 milliamps more than the smaller LG G8. Now, it could be also because it's a smaller device. I don't know, but this phone also gets brighter. Now, I use this phone at 100% brightness, and I'm still getting 2 days, plus the always-on display. So I have to say, I'm just being honest, I'm more impressed with the battery life on the LG G8 than the OnePlus 7T Pro, especially because of the size of the battery, the fact that I have it on 100% brightness, and the fact that I use the always-on display. And I got the always-on display at its highest setting. Okay? All right. Now, next thing I forgot to mention. Now, with the far as the charging speeds, you're getting 21 watt quick charging 3.0. So 21 watt quick charging 3.0 on the LG G8, which is not that fast. I'm sorry. It's going to take you well over probably about an hour and a half to fully fill this battery from 0 to 100. And not even from 0 to 50 in 30 minutes. It's just not that fast. Okay. However, with the OnePlus 7T Pro, you got 30 watt warp charging, which means basically you can go from 0 to 70% in 30 minutes and from 0 to 100% in 70 minutes. So it's not even close as far as charging speeds. You want a phone that charges extremely fast. If you're in a pinch, for time and you just coming in the house, you got to run back out, but you just want to, get your phone juiced up really quick. This is the phone you want as far as that's concerned. Okay, you're not going to get really fast charging speeds on this. Now, you get fast charging speeds, but it pales in comparison to the OnePlus 7T Pro. Okay, you can charge this phone in 30 minutes and get all day battery life easily. You're not getting that with the LG G8. You're just not. Okay, so OnePlus definitely wins that. Next thing, the LG G8 has dual stereo speakers. Now, however, there's a slight difference. You have the one speaker here at the bottom, and then you have no earpiece, so the sound is actually coming through the display. Okay, that's kind of cool, but at the same time, unfortunately, sometimes it'll make the music sound, or not necessarily music, but the sound sometimes sound a little hollow because it doesn't have any place to release itself in a display at the top. So it sounds to me a little hollow, but it's super loud. No question about it. You're going to hear this phone. If you're playing music or media, you're definitely going to hear it. It's very, very loud. And the sound is not bad. It's not terrible, but it just sounds a little hollow. OnePlus 7T Pro also have dual stereo speakers, and you have a speaker at the bottom, and you got the speaker coming through the earpiece. And the quality of sound is excellent. But I have to be honest, I believe, just based on my experience, the LG G8 does get louder. However, the OnePlus 7T Pro sounds better overall. Overall, sound quality is better on the OnePlus 7T Pro, but the LG G8 definitely gets louder. All right, next thing, the cameras. Now, of course, with the LG G8, you get 2 cameras on the back. You got your telephoto and you got your, ultra wide angle lens, which is cool. It's just good. And I'm going to say right now that the photo quality on this device is excellent. I mean, it's like on pixel level, in my opinion, because I tested this one and the Pixel together, and they're very much similar, okay? Except for the front selfie camera. Now, the front selfie camera is not terrible on this phone, not at all, but it's not as good as the OnePlus 7T Pro as far as the selfie, okay? Now, as far as the rear cameras on the LG G8 are better than the rear cameras on the OnePlus 7T Pro, in my experience. Okay? Now, with the OnePlus, you're getting 3 cameras on the back. You're getting the telephoto, you're getting the wide, and you're getting the ultra wide. So you're getting one extra camera. That's not the biggest deal in the world because the Pixel 3a XL also just had one camera, and it was the camera on that phone is ridiculous. Okay, it's just phenomenal. So it doesn't matter about having 3, 5, 9 cameras. It's all about quality. Okay. So as far as photos, LG is winning that as far as the rear cameras. But on the selfie, I'll give that to the OnePlus 7T Pro. And also, the LG G8's video quality is not as good as the OnePlus 7T video quality because for some reason, in my experience with the LG G8, it's just not, the video quality is just not smooth. It's just kind of stuttery and jittery. It's just not very stable. And the OnePlus 7T Pro is nice and smooth. So, you know, they like both have their good and bad. So for me, the video quality is better on the OnePlus 7T Pro. Next, LG G8 features and the OnePlus 7T Pro features both have a lot of features in their devices. But the LG G8, you're going to get more features. You just are. Now, the OnePlus 7T Pro, don't get me wrong, this phone has some really good, useful features on it. I mean, it's very customizable, and a lot of people like that, especially people that are heavily into Android. You want to make your phone look like you want it to look. You want to do whatever you want to do with your phone and have it to your liking. So this phone is very customizable, but overall, you're going to get more features on the LG G8. Next thing, LG G8 far as software updates, horribly, ridiculously slow. I mean, really slow. I just got Android 10 on this LG just like a week ago. So they're pretty pathetic when it comes to the software updates. However, with the OnePlus 7T Pro, you're going to get the software updates right after Google gets it. So you're going to get it very, very fast. And OnePlus is excellent at security updates and keeping their phones updated. They're very good at that. So if software updates matter to you and that's real important, then you want the OnePlus 7T Pro. Okay. With the LG G8, you're going to get them, but they're going to be very, very slow. Okay. All right. Oh, and also you're only getting 2 years of updates on the LG G8. You're getting 3 years of updates on the OnePlus 7T Pro. Next thing, LG G8 has facial unlock. The OnePlus 7T Pro also has facial unlock. Which one is better? In my experience, the OnePlus 7T Pro facial unlock is much faster and more accurate than the LG G8. This is 2 seconds, and sometimes it don't even find my face, but this finds my face every single time, and it opens up immediately. Like, as soon as I hit the power button, that pop-up selfie camera comes up and it's down. Like, it's like, zzz. I mean, literally like almost less than a second. So facial unlock is no competition. And, you know, OnePlus has always had the fastest facial unlock in the game for years now. I don't know if that's still the case as far as Apple and Pixel now. I don't know which one out of the 3 that are fast, but I know this phone is impressive because it has a moving mechanism, which those other phones, the camera's built right into the display. So that's pretty impressive that a moving mechanism can come up and go down in almost less than a second. I mean, that's impressive. Next thing, LG G8, wireless charging. OnePlus 7T Pro, no wireless charging. Now, I know that some people, y'all don't care about wireless charging. Some people, to them, it's a gimmick. Wireless charging is not a gimmick unless you don't use it at all. But for those of us that use it, it's definitely not a gimmick, and we love it. Now, I prefer a phone with wireless charging. I have wireless chargers all over my house, and I like to just take my phone, put it right on the dock, and be done with it, and don't have to have no wires connected. When it's fully charged, just take it off and go. So I prefer a device with wireless charging. However, I still like this phone because it has other things about it that I love. But if you need wireless charging, you want the LG G8. Next thing, LG G8 IP68 water and dust resistance. With the OnePlus 7T Pro, no IP68 water and dust resistance. So with the LG G8, you're going to have that peace of mind. You can drop your water in a pool up to, I think, 5 feet of water for 30 minutes and you'll be fine. This, they're saying that it's water resistant, but there's no official IP rating. And they're not guaranteeing your phone won't be damaged if it gets dropped in a puddle of water. So at the end of the day, you want the peace of mind. So if that matters to you, then you want the LG G8. All right, next and last thing. LG G8, HDR10 compliant. OnePlus 7T Pro, HDR10 Plus compliant. So the picture quality is going to look a little bit better with your OnePlus 7T Pro as far as HDR is concerned. Now, for some people, that doesn't matter because HDR10 is more than enough, and you're going to get very good quality, great quality picture on the LG G8, no question about it. But that's the difference. This has HDR10 Plus. So if that matters to you, then you want to go with this. Now, and I'm finished. Now, just to say this, specs don't matter to everybody. Everybody is different. Now, for me, specs do matter, but it only is going to matter if it actually shows up when you're using a device. So if you spec a phone to death and it still doesn't perform, it doesn't even matter to have all those specs if it doesn't perform up to the specs. So at the end of the day, I don't like the OnePlus 7T Pro don't have all the specs there is. Like, it's missing things for me. It's missing the always on display. It's missing expandable memory. You know, it's missing a headphone jack. It's missing wireless charging. You know, so it's missing some things that I really prefer and want on my device. But that doesn't take away the greatness of this device. This device is awesome and I love it. My main issue with LG, and it's not a whole lot of issues because this is a complete device, but the fact that the phone overall is just a little bit too small for me, and I hate that notch, and I would prefer the sound with the speaker to come through at the top. That's what I would just prefer, you know. But I love that it has a headphone jack. It has a beautiful display. It has great battery life. Oh, the charging speeds for the battery could be a lot faster. You know, give me some headphones, give me a case, you know, give me a little bit better front-facing camera, you know, but it's more like the size for me. See, this is the perfect size for me. This is just a little bit too small. And them slow software updates really turn me off because that's something that actually matters to me a little bit. All right, so that was my comparison between the LG G8 and the OnePlus 7T Pro. Both are great devices. You can't go wrong with either. However, you're going to pay a lot less for this right now than you would this, but this is going to last you a lot longer. And if the software experience and having, you know, stock Android matters, because this is running the LG skin, which I don't really care for. I don't, because I use Nova Launcher on it. And with the OnePlus 7T Pro, you're using Oxygen OS, which, you know, the OnePlus community love it. Now, I think Oxygen OS is awesome too. It's pure stock. It's not pure stock Android like Google is, but it is stock Android in a way because it's very simple, but it's way more customizable than the Google phones. Way more customizable, and I like that. Now, that actually doesn't make any sense because Google actually makes Android, so I don't know why they would let OnePlus make a device more customizable than theirs, and they make Android, so I don't get that. But anyway, these are both great devices. You're gonna love either one, but this one, as far as the price, is going to be a lot cheaper than the OnePlus. Now, if you wait, you know, a few more months down the line, and the next OnePlus gets dropped, then this price is going to drop. But right now, this price, I mean, under $300. I mean, if it's about money, I would say go with the LG G8. But if it's not, I would say definitely go with the OnePlus 7T Pro. Now, which one am I going with? Definitely is going to be the OnePlus 7T Pro. I just love this device. The size of it, the fact that it has no notch, it's all display. The software is so fast and buttery smooth. You know, the battery life is excellent. I mean, I like this device a lot. I really do. So, but I like both. But like I said, at the end of the day, I'm going with the OnePlus 7T Pro. All right, just want to quickly thank all my subscribers. I do appreciate you. Without you, this channel is not possible. And if you want to leave me a comment, please leave it down in the comment section below, and I'll get back to you as soon as I possibly can. All right? All right, so I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.